If you tell me that the premise for your game is a tiny cat in a mech suit, then I'm sold. Luckily, Gato Roboto is exactly that. It's a nice little Metroidvania. It's short but extremely fun, coming from Doinksoft and Devolver Digital. So Metroidvanias, they've been made really popular over the last few years, and Gato Roboto is a nice addition to that collection. So we start out on a ship with its captain talking to mission command, and he's accompanied by his tiny cat. As we fly over an alien planet, something suddenly happens to cause the ship to fail, and we have to crash land on the planet. Unfortunately, the captain has been taken out and he can't move, so he asks his tiny cat to jump into a mech suit and help. It's a simple premise and introduces us to the main protagonist as well as one of the main mechanics in the game. The fact that you're a little cat who can jump in and out of a mech suit and other vehicles later on in the game allows the game to present to you puzzles and battle sequences in different forms. Our little cat friend can get into gaps that the mech suit cannot, allowing you to traverse the landscape and get into nooks and crannies that otherwise would be unavailable. There's a decent amount of humour in the game too, with the captain telling himself off for talking to a cat in the first place. The captain acts as a narrator to the story, giving the cat advice on where to go and what to do, as well as offering up funny moments of dialogue. So for example, he gets frustrated when he's never sure the cat is listening, as he can only answer with a simple meow. The movement in the game feels really fluid, fast and solid too. So as the tiny cat, you can run, jump and swim, you can clamber up walls and get into small spaces, as often cats find themselves doing. Getting into the mech suit changes your abilities and crucially your arsenal, with a standard blaster at the start, followed by upgrades like rockets a bit later on. There's standard Metroidvania fare here with a map that opens up, you've got rooms and secrets yet to be discovered, and those new areas open up once you get new abilities and can aid your exploration. There's vendors in the game too where you can buy upgrades, and again there's like really funny moments here woven into these encounters. So when you first meet one of these vendors who's a frog in a mech suit, he comments on our little kitty friend by stating, "Ha, well, I'm one to talk, right?" when referring to what an odd scene that is. And I guess a cat in a mech suit talking to a frog in a mech suit, not your everyday conversation. So the thing that sets this game apart from others is the switching between modes and the contrast between styles when you're simply the cat running and exploring compared to when you're in the mech suit. The puzzles and the level design are complementing each other through the design choice, as you can only get so far in either mode. As a mech cat, you can blast your way through walls with rockets, but touch some water and you'll take damage. Jump out the mech suit and you'll be able to run around with speed and freedom, leaving your mech suit where it is so you can pick it up later on. Quickly run through a small gap, solve a puzzle and get back into the suit to continue your journey. There's save points dotted around the map, and these restore health and provide you mechs as you go. You've only got a few hit points, so it's best to avoid or destroy enemies as they get closer. There's a variety of enemies and environments, like squid swimming through the area and alien-like pods that eject bugs that fly and try and attack you. The graphics and the audio are really retro, with its overall monochrome feel and pixel art style, and music that could have come out of the 80s. Sometimes it feels like 2001, the music is fantastic. The game, it may feel retro, but it's certainly not lacking in detail, with environments full to the brim with character, like the talking computers, check-ins with the captain and the underground facilities. There's a really nice feel to the game, making it a joy to play with speed, and it'll keep you thinking about the game long after you put the controller down. Gato Roboto has some really good boss battles too, first of which includes a battle against a lifelong opponent of a mouse in an even bigger mech suit than our cat has. Boss battles, they've got a few phases which change up the mechanics of the fight, which have you bouncing around the screen using your full arsenal of abilities in an effort to take them down. The game itself is not too hard, but it'll provide enough of a challenge to keep you entertained and engaged. It's a really well put together package that had me hooked from the start to the finish. It's not a long game, it's somewhere in the region of 2 to 3 hours for a full playthrough, and there's plenty of secrets to find, and you're unlikely to find everything on your first time through the game. It can feel a little bit familiar, but the polish on the game as a whole package is undeniable, making Gato Roboto a worthwhile purchase that will provide you with a great gaming experience. So the developer is Doinksoft and it's published by Devolver Digital. It's available for PC, Nintendo Switch, and it's available on Xbox Game Pass too. Originally released on May the 30th, 2019, I gave the game a final score of 75 out of 100.